anything just open it up to comment?
Well, I think that was probably the best birthday present I ever received. You know, out of 16,790 days I've been on this earth, and the 46 birthdays I had, that was the best birthday I've had. You know, so, no, really good. Proud of our football team, the way they went out and performed today. Those guys, in all three phases, I was proud of how they went out and took care of business. And I'm really pleased with our guys after the first touchdown that Charlotte scored, and just to see how our guys responded. That's something we talked about all season and all training camp, is how we deal with adversity when things don't go our way. Because we haven't been good with that in the past, and we said that's something we need to overcome. And it was great that it hit us early in the game, and our guys responded the right way when it did hit us. So I'm really pleased with that, and then just how the guys just played overall.
Coach, I want to start it off with that first touchdown that Charlotte scored. It seemed like LeJontay Wester was on defense. What was the situation behind that?
Well, I wish he would have jumped outside. Coach probably could have called some more plays in there. You saw a lot more of them in there, you know. But LeJontay's in the package that we have on defense. You know, it allowed him to go in and help us. He's done a great job for us during training camp, and he was just eager to go there on that play. And unfortunately, he should have kept rushing. He dropped back and passed. Should have kept rushing, but that's what happened. And, but we have a package where LeJontay play on defense for us too.
Well, after a long summer camp to perform that way, is it sort of how you envisioned it if you were checking all the boxes?
Absolutely, and the reason I envisioned it that way is how they prepared, how they've been working. You know, since this time. Well, not this time, but our last game here last year, things were different ever since then. You know, and I say things were different, and it started with Evan Anderson just in the locker room and how he spoke to the team and said what it was going to be moving forward, and how we weren't going to accept a lot of stuff we've been accepting around here. And I knew from that point on things were going to be totally different around here. I wish he would have did a couple months before that, but he did it then, and he stayed true to it throughout the offseason. And again, our leadership on this football team is big time. TJ, Nicosi, Evan Anderson, Nick Weber, those guys have done a great job this entire offseason of holding each other accountable, holding the teammates accountable. And when you do that, and when your best players are your best leaders too, great things happen for you. So I wasn't surprised by the way we played. I just couldn't wait to see us play that way. And plus I told them that I've never been upset on my birthday, so didn't want that to happen.
Speaking of Nicosi, he obviously had a couple good games last year, but the confidence really struck out to me today. And you talked about how he was here for the spring, obviously way more comfortable. Can you talk about that?
Well, what you saw was just someone that was under control of what we were doing. He knew exactly what to do and when to do it, and he knew where everybody's supposed to be. And when you know that, then you can play calm. You can play. You don't have to play in a rush or hurry. And I thought that's what he did more than anything. He was really calm and under control today, and everything that we called for him. You know, so. But that's just the work that he put in this off season, and it's paying off for us. You know, and I'm happy for him because that hard work is paying off, and hopefully other guys see the work that he put in and want to emulate that.
Hey, Coach, I never really talk about a kicker very much, but
Talk about it. Go ahead.
But I will this time
Yeah.
though. Morgan Suarez looked pretty good. There's a guy that, forget about the 19-yard chip shot that everybody's expected to make. But when you got a kicker that can go ahead and kick a couple 40-yarders, knowing that you're going to have a longer season, it's pretty nice to be able to see him get off to a good start, knowing that at some point or another he's going to have to come through during clutch situations, even though you had a little bit more wiggle room today.
No doubt. It was good to see Morgan kick the way he did today. You know, those guys have been battling in training camp back and forth to be the guy, and here lately, the last couple of practice, Morgan has kind of pulled himself away. And it was good to see him go out and execute each one of those kicks out here. And I know his entire team was very happy and proud of him for going out and kicking the way that he did. And I challenged those guys throughout training camp, and they probably didn't like me much during training camp. But we found our guy by doing that, and it was great for Morgan to be able to go make those field goals. There was a couple of times where I wanted to go for it, but then again, I wanted to see what Morgan can do, and he showed us.
Well, and a follow-up question too. obviously, you know, this is final year in Conference USA. The next time you see Charlotte will be in a different conference. So how important is it this year that you can, you know, have a big year in Conference USA as you try to elevate yourself in competition going into next season?
Well, we want to have a good year and win the Conference USA, not because we're going to the AAC, but because that's where we're at right now, you know, and our guys understand what it's going to take to be able to do that. We understand where we're going next year, but we're not there yet, you know, so we're really just focused on this year, and from a staff standpoint, we're making sure we do a good job, which we've been doing a good job recruiting and recruit for what we're doing, you know, but our players and all really focus on really Ohio now. You know, we got Charlotte out the way, and we're on Ohio and nothing other than that, you know, so that's been our mindset. That's all we talk about. You know, we don't talk about anything other than what's in front of us, and so but it's good that we continue to try to win some ball games. That's what we're just gonna win, you know. We'll get back to winning and winning often, and that was a great start today.
Coach, what's the biggest takeaway overall? You got a balanced stat sheet here offensively from running and, you know, passing the ball. Defense forced 5 straight punts. You talked about leadership. I mean, it's your birthday. What's the biggest takeaway? I mean, opening season win in conference, there's so many storylines. What's the biggest one for
Well, I
you?
think our guys just, I mean, they play winning football. And when I say winning football, when you don't beat yourself, you know, when you don't turn the ball over and have all the selfish penalties that cause you to lose ball games. Our guys played winning football today. And we go into every game saying we want to be able to run the football and we want to be able to stop the run. And our guys did that today. And when you can do those two things, you got a good chance of winning ball games. You know, so we ran the ball well and we stopped the run. And then we didn't turn the ball over. That's so critical, and it paid off. Again, how we say we wanted to play, that's, again, probably what I'm more excited about, because how we say we wanted to play, our guys went out and played that way, you know, and we always talk in our meetings and everything about speaking things into existence. You know, that's what we wanted to do today, and our guys went out and performed.
Just to follow, can you talk about Larry and the game he had today? He probably had almost as close to his career high.
I think he did. I think he did have his career high.
Well,
You know?
as far as, well, let's say this, he had a career high, but he had like only about 141 rushing yards all last year.
Yeah.
This year, he's having, you know, that kind of, he's already having a better season.
Well, what you all saw out of Larry is what we've been seeing in training camp. I told Larry probably midway through training camp, you know, when I first got the job here, everyone was telling me about Larry and how good he could be. And unfortunately, when I first got here, he was hurt a little bit. But it's great to see young men grow and develop. And Larry has developed into the player that we all knew he could be and should be. And again, I expect big things out of him this year. I don't think that's going to be the last time you see him get 100 yards. You know, we expect to have plenty of those. And again, the way he ran today is how he's been doing all training camp. He's made everybody proud of him. And I mean, everybody, trainers, managers, all proud of how he run and the plays that he's made. So we expect for that to continue.
Coach, Jaden Williams really stood out in the first half there at the sack, and it seemed like he was all over the place. You know, what did you see out of his performance today? Is that sort of what you saw throughout training camp as well?
Yeah, I saw it last year. You know, he was a freshman the way he played, and he came on the latter part of the season and played for us. But I saw it then and think he was going to be a really good football player for us. You know, and I thought going into this season, Coach Orlando did a great job of putting him at the nickel spot. You know, and I thought that was a great spot for us and how physical he is, and we can do a lot of different things. We can blitz with him, he can cover someone, and it just helped us so much on the defense side of the ball when he can do both, and we don't have to substitute anything like that. So expected that from J-Dub, and think you're gonna see that throughout the year.
Hey, Coach, I know last year you beat Charlotte pretty handily. I don't know how much more players they had, and then you beat them handily again. Was there anything that you took from that game with some of their players that you were able to apply in your preparation for this contest?
Well, I think from a defense standpoint, again, they had the same offensive coordinator from last year, and I think they had about 8 players back. So we went against those guys. We knew what they were going to do, and we was able to prepare for them defensively. You know, on the offense side of the ball, they have a new defensive coordinator, and we really didn't know what we were going to get because he hadn't called the defense in a while. So we knew we were going to have to adjust to things once we got in the game. And You know, so it was different from what we did last year because different people there, but, one thing we did do is look at personnel, you know, and watch the personnel that we were going against and try to, get some mismatches at times.
You know, in terms of the defense, can you just talk about the first drive was 5 plays for Charlotte, touchdown drive, pretty much radio silent after that. Can you just talk about the response that they had in defensive the defense?
Well, it was great, you know, TJ said it in the locker room after the game, you know, he was glad that play happened to him and not anybody else because of how we've been preaching about dealing with adversity. And he was glad that adversity happened to him when they caught the ball and scored. But our guys didn't flinch. You know, we had this saying, when things go wrong for us, so what, now what? You know, so when things go wrong, you hear somebody, if you're on the sideline, you're gonna hear that somewhere. So what, now what? You know, so rather than sit around and pout and moan about whatever happens, you know, you gotta get back up and make a play, you know, and that's what our guys did. They didn't pout about that, and I thought offensively responded well. And again, that's what a team is all about. When defense give us some offense, you help your defense out by coming back and score, or offense is off the field, defense do it, you know. And again, I thought we played team football tonight, and it was good to see.
You guys good? All right, thank you.
Thank you. I have to go party.
Jake, happy birthday.